Well, this is going to be a bloodbath, but not the way they think. The words echoed through the command deck of the UNSS Vanguard. The lone warship humanity had decided was sufficient to fend off an entire alien armada. Captain Marcus Hale, a seasoned veteran of space combat, stood at the helm, his weathered face betraying a calm confidence. Around him, the bridge crew worked with the precision of a well-oiled machine, unfazed by the enormity of their mission. The alien fleet, hailing from the distant star system of Zorak, had made a grave mistake in underestimating humanity's resolve and capabilities. Their scouts had misinterpreted the humans' relative silence and isolation as signs of weakness. In truth, humanity had been preparing for this moment for decades, perfecting their technology, training their soldiers, and studying potential adversaries. All systems green, Captain Hale reported. Lieutenant Ramirez's voice steady despite the impending conflict. Weapons primed and ready. Hale nodded, his eyes narrowing as he studied the holographic display of the Zorak fleet. They were impressive in size, a massive formation of sleek, deadly vessels designed for one purpose: annihilation. But sheer numbers had never been humanity's primary advantage. Strategy, ingenuity, and a fierce determination to survive had always tipped the scales in their favor. Ensign Blake, open a channel to the fleet, Hale ordered. A moment later, Ensign Blake nodded, indicating the channel was live. Attention Zorak fleet, this is Captain Marcus Hale of the UNSS Vanguard. You are entering human territory. Withdraw immediately, or face the consequences. The response was immediate and predictably arrogant. Human vessel, this is Admiral Krath of the Zorak Imperium. You are outnumbered and outgunned. Surrender now, and your lives will be spared. Hale chuckled, a deep resonant sound that carried across the bridge. Admiral Krath, you seem to be under the impression that you've caught us off guard. Allow me to disabuse you of that notion. This ship, this crew, and our technology are more than a match for your fleet. Consider this your only warning. The communication line went silent for a moment before the alien admiral responded, his voice dripping with contempt. Prepare to be annihilated, human. With that, the channel closed, and the battle began. The Zorak ships surged forward, weapons blazing with a fury intended to overwhelm the lone human vessel. But the Vanguard was no ordinary ship. Built with the latest advancements in human engineering, it boasted an array of offensive and defensive systems that were the envy of the galaxy. All hands, battle stations, Hale commanded. The crew sprang into action, executing their roles with practiced efficiency. The Vanguard's railguns roared to life, firing projectiles at velocities that defied comprehension. Energy shields flared as they absorbed the incoming barrage from the Zorak fleet. The ship's AI, named Argus, calculated firing solutions and shield harmonics with inhuman precision, ensuring that the Vanguard remained one step ahead of the attackers. Target their flagship, Hale ordered, his eyes locked on the largest ship in the enemy formation. Let's send a message. A volley of torpedoes streaked across the void, each one guided by sophisticated targeting algorithms. The Zorak flagship attempted evasive maneuvers, but it was too late. Explosions rippled along its hull as the torpedoes found their mark, tearing through the ship's defenses and crippling its systems. Direct hit, reported Ramirez. Their flagship is disabled. The crew cheered, but Hale remained focused. Keep up the pressure. Don't give them a chance to regroup. As the battle raged on, it became clear that the Zorak had gravely underestimated the Vanguard. Despite their numerical superiority, their ships fell one by one, victims of the human vessel's superior firepower and tactics. On the Zorak command ship, Admiral Krath watched in disbelief as his fleet was systematically dismantled. How is this possible? He muttered, his confidence shattered. They are but one ship. Back on the Vanguard, Hale allowed himself a grim smile. They always think numbers are everything. He said to no one in particular. They never learn. The battle continued, but the outcome was never in doubt. The Vanguard's crew fought with a determination born of the knowledge that they were defending their home, their families, and their very way of life. And in the end, that made all the difference. Status report, Hale requested as the last of the Zorak ships fled or lay in ruins. Minimal damage to our systems, replied Ramirez. Casualties are light. We did it, sir. Hale nodded, allowing himself a moment of pride. Good work, everyone. Prepare to send a message to Earth. Let them know that one ship was enough. HFY. As the crew began their post-battle routines, Hale turned his gaze to the stars. The Zorak had learned a valuable lesson that day, one that humanity had known for centuries. Underestimating human resilience was a fatal mistake. "Captain, incoming transmission from Earth," Ensign Blake announced, cutting through Hale's thoughts. "It's Admiral Preston." "Patch it through," Hale ordered, straightening up. The holographic display flickered before the stern face of Admiral Preston appeared. "Congratulations, Captain Hale," the Admiral began, his tone formal but with a hint of a smile. "Your success has been noted, but we have a new development. Intelligence reports indicate that the Zorak fleet was just the first wave. A second, much larger force is mobilizing. Your orders are to hold your position and prepare for reinforcements." Hale's eyes narrowed. "Understood, Admiral. We'll be ready." The transmission ended, and Hale turned to his crew. "You heard the man. This isn't over. Double-check all systems and rearm. We have a bigger fight coming." As the crew sprang into action, the weight of their situation settled over the command deck. The Vanguard had proven itself against the initial wave, but the real test was yet to come. Captain Hale's eyes gleamed with determination. They had shown what one human ship could do. Now, it was time to prove that their resilience and ingenuity could face down any threat, no matter the odds. In the vast emptiness of space, the Vanguard held its ground, a solitary beacon of human defiance against the encroaching darkness. The battle for survival was far from over, and the stakes had never been higher. The vast expanse of space was eerily quiet as the UNSS Vanguard prepared for the imminent arrival of the second Zorak wave. Captain Hale paced the bridge, his mind racing with tactical possibilities. Around him, the crew worked with a heightened sense of urgency, fully aware that the real battle was just beginning. "Status report," Hale demanded, his voice cutting through the low hum of activity. "Shields at full strength. All weapon systems reloaded and calibrated," Lieutenant Ramirez reported crisply. "Engineering has patched up the minor damage from the first wave. We're as ready as we'll ever be, sir." Hale nodded. "Good. Argus, any sign of the second fleet?" The AI's voice was calm and precise. "Long-range sensors have detected multiple warp signatures, approximately 2 light-years out. Estimated time to contact, 10 minutes. 10 minutes. It wasn't much time, but it was enough for one final round of preparations. Hale turned to Ensign Blake. "Open a secure channel to Earth," Hale ordered. As Blake worked to establish the connection, Hale addressed the rest of the bridge crew. "This next wave will be tougher, but we've proven that we can handle anything they throw at us. Stay sharp, follow your training, and trust in our technology and each other. We are the tip of the spear, and we will not break." The crew responded with a unified, determined, "Aye, sir." "Channel open, Captain," Blake announced. Hale faced the holographic display, where Admiral Preston's image materialized once again. "Admiral, we have confirmed reports of a second, larger Zorak fleet en route to our position. Requesting additional support immediately." Preston's expression was grave. "We're mobilizing all available assets, Captain, but it'll take time to reach you. You need to hold the line until reinforcements arrive. Godspeed, Hale." The transmission ended, and Hale felt the weight of responsibility settle more heavily on his shoulders. "Argus, calculate optimal defensive positions. We need to maximize our firepower and minimize their ability to swarm us." "Calculations complete, Captain," Argus replied. Recommended position displayed on the tactical map. Hale studied the holographic projection. "Helm, take us to these coordinates. Let's make sure we're ready to greet our guest properly." The Vanguard moved with grace and precision, positioning itself in a strategic location where it could leverage both its offensive and defensive capabilities to the fullest. The crew completed their final checks, a tense silence settling over the bridge as the countdown to contact ticked away. "Captain, the second fleet is emerging from warp," Ramirez reported, his voice steady but intense. Visuals coming online. The main screen lit up, displaying the approaching Zorak armada. It was a sight to behold, a vast swarm of ships, far larger and more formidable than the first wave. But Captain Hale's gaze remained steady. "They may outnumber us," he muttered, a hint of a smile playing at the corners of his mouth, "but they'll never outthink us." The second battle for humanity's survival was about to begin.